So give me just 7 minutes and I will make you a better public speaker. Now, what experience do I have? Well, thankfully, I've had a lot of opportunities to present since I was a young kid, from performing a song in primary school to speaking to VPs in companies for internships. So I've had a fair few bits of presenting experience here or there. I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I feel like I have enough experience and knowledge to try and help you, because there are a lot of people who struggle with public speaking. And if you can learn how to communicate and get your message across, it will be all for the better. So let's start off with the most important thing. Number one, audience, excuse my bad handwriting, is king. Number one, audience is king. Now, why do I say that the audience is the king? Because how they respond to what you say will have a big influence on how successful your presentation is. For example, let's say that you are presenting and you're trying to convince people that, look, they need to take this type of action. Well, if your audience doesn't really understand what you're talking about, or I'm looking over here and I'm just looking at the notes on the screen and I'm not really making any sort of connection with them, then you're just going to doze off. I've been in the audience for so many presentations where I've just kind of started looking across on my phone because they're just reading a long list of notes from the screen. That doesn't engage an audience. But what also doesn't engage an audience is not really knowing what you're talking about. Preparation is key, because if you practice enough what you're going to talk about and you know what your audience is looking to understand, how this specific action will help the business going forward, like if you do that enough beforehand, you will have a much better experience with your presentation, with your audience. Let's move on to the next point. Delivery. And under this, I want to put a few different factors. So number one, you've got to have some confidence. If you don't have confidence and you don't believe in what you're talking about, I promise you that's going to reflect through to your audience. They're just going to pick up on the fact that A, you don't really know what you're talking about, or B, you don't believe it, so why should I? That's going to be their mindset. Number two, rhythm. This is something that I've learned recently, and it's not one that I've seen a lot of people talk about. But especially when you're new to public speaking, it's very easy to just talk in a very monotone, flat, predictable way of speaking and not really changing up your delivery style from there. It's a bit boring. What you want to do is have a bit of rhythm, both in your tone of voice, but also your speed of voice. So, for example, when I'm talking about more general things, I might speed through a little bit quicker and speak a little bit more monotone. But when I get to really important bits, I'll slow down my voice just a little bit more. I'll be a bit more intentional with my tone of voice. Sometimes it will get a bit higher. I really need to emphasize this point to you. It's so important. Please listen. Sometimes go a bit lower and even lean in and just really try and connect with the audience. If you match up your rhythm to the importance of your point and you keep the audience engaged, you are going to have so much more success, because it's not really about what you say that people remember. What people remember is how you came across, how you talk to them, how you engage in that dialogue. That's what people remember more than the actual words, actual content. The next thing with delivery that I will say is this: linked to rhythm, sort of, projection. My handwriting is so bad. Projection. There's a difference between saying stuff really loudly and saying stuff with a clear pitch and not overdoing it. A tip that I learned when I was younger is that if you want to raise your voice naturally, This is a little bit harder to do virtually, I have to say. But if you're in a face-to-face presentation, so let's say there's 100 people then and you're standing at the front, what you want to do is you want to talk to the person at the back of the room, because naturally your voice is going to get a little bit louder and a little bit clearer as well. And also, if you can, use your body language. That's so important. Let me put that down as point number 3. Body language. It's so important because body language can make or break your presentation from a visual point of view. If you're just stiff like this and you're presenting your content, even if you're talking with quite a bit of difference in your delivery and your language, and you consider your audience in mind, I'm literally as still as a statue here. I'm not doing anything. I'm almost like a robot. What you want to do instead is just free yourself up a little bit. And if you're nervous before the start of your presentation, it can help just to move your shoulders about a little bit. And when you're speaking, just have a bit of a natural bounce. You ain't got to go like this, but just have a little bit of a natural step, a little bit of natural swagger. If you're talking in a presentation face to face, walk around the room a little bit, go side to side and talk to different corners of the room. Use suggestive body language like head nodding. Keep eye contact with your audience as well. You don't have to stare into someone's soul for 20 seconds. It's better to make your point, look at different people in the eye as well, and just kind of divert your attention to different people, because then it keeps them engaged as well. And also use your hands as well. Don't throw your hands out like this, like you're in a cipher and you're trying to beat someone in a rap battle, but use your hands to emphasize how important a point is. And that's, again, something that anyone can adopt from today. And these 3 key things: keeping the audience front and center of your presentation, having good delivery, which includes things like your projection, your confidence, and keeping a natural rhythm, and also using good body language. If you can nail these 3 to start with, then I promise you, your public speaking skills are going to go up so much. And this is not just for a presentation or anything, but this is even for if you're having to improvise on the fly and you're having to talk. These will help you so much.